Good Tuesday afternoon, folks. I'm meteorologist Tim Pandajis here at KHOU in Houston, Texas. We're talking our rain totals over the last 24 hours, and some areas saw some impressive amounts, but mainly if you were located north of Houston. South of there, you can see here radar indicated totals were hardly anything. North of the area, though, we saw 3, 4, close to 5 inches of rain over the last 24 hours. Most of this fell within a 3 to 4 hour window in the overnight hours. Just to the west of Conroe, radar indicated totals there about 4.2 inches. Just south of Spring, closing in on 3 inches. South of Roman Forest, 3.1. Into the northeast of Cleveland, that looks to be our jackpot total so far in the last 24 hours of 4.6 inches. Now, the reason why I'm starting off with rainfall totals is because the chance is still there that we see similar totals going forward over the next 36 to 48 hours, as our general overall scenario or setup really has not really changed. We've got a stalled boundary over the area right now, and that's going to initiate enough lift to focus on the instability in the atmosphere to bring us some more downpours. Out there right now, there's nothing organized. We've got no line of storms coming on through that stalling on out. These are more isolated to scattered in nature. Now, some of them do have some heavier downpours and some lightning and thunder out towards Matagorda and Brazoria, and mainly they're moving east, and they're not slow moving either, which is good news for flooding threats. But as we go on into the overnight, things might change a little bit. So here's Houston's headlines. The setup is ripe for heavy rainfall. We've got a high moisture environment, the humidity. You step outside, dew points are in the 70s. You can feel the moisture in the air. That leads to high instability. That boundary will focus that instability and be the catalyst to drive some showers and storms to develop, some of which could be slow moving or develop into something we call training thunderstorms, which are slow moving storms that move over the same area time after time, causing that flooding risk. Now, in this type of scenario as well, models are infamously bad with this type of setup, okay? Hard to pinpoint exactly where the downpours form, and the flash flood threat is there. It's low, but it's not absent, so keep that in mind as well. The real focusing point for the highest flood threat, flash flood threat, is out here in the red, northern Louisiana, central and northern portions of Mississippi. It's on a 4-tiered system. That's a level 3 out there in the red. However, on the tail end of things, you can see our area here in southeast Texas, most of us are under that level 2 threat. So again, it's not as high as what's in northern Louisiana, but it's not zero either, and something to pay attention to as we go forward. So now I want to show you the models. I'm going to show you 2 separate models, high resolution, short range models, to try and show you what we're dealing with here with the models struggling to pinpoint where the heaviest rain will be. Start off here with model number 1. We'll stop things at the exact same time frames as 2 so you can see the comparison. Here we are this afternoon. Things out there, not too much going on. We also look at the models and kind of pick through which one is taking a snapshot of what's going on currently and putting it into the model, something we call initialization. When it sees what's going on accurately, it has a better chance of having a much more accurate forecast going forward. When it initializes wrong or shows thunderstorms where there aren't any currently on radar, that's when we kind of throw that model to the side and say it's having some trouble kind of deciphering what's going on. These 2 models, this one in particular, this is the HRR, the Rapid Refresh model, short range, high resolution, initializes the best out of our shorter range right now at least. So going into midnight tonight, in fact, this is a brand new model here. We're seeing this together for the first time. Earlier, it was showing a line of storms developing along the I-10 corridor. You can see that that line is now shifted to the north. So each run, we're seeing it jump around. That's why it's hard to pinpoint exactly where things will set on up. By tomorrow morning, 5 a.m., heading out the door for the morning commute on Wednesday. Could be some spotty downpours, but again, nothing to really be concerned with. By 9:30, we've got a few more clusters of storms developing along the coastline. Here's model number 2. This is 6 p.m. tonight. Few isolated storms. Let's go up to midnight. Similar thing. We've got a line of some storms, maybe some showers, some heavier downpours to the north of the city. Most of the area is quiet, though. Heading into the 5 o'clock a.m. rush hour. Few isolated downpours out there as well. Not too far off from the last model. And then showing more of an initialization of some storms down by 9 o'clock along the coastline. So both models do agree on that. So that's what we'll really watch for tomorrow. Now, as long as there's boundaries in our general area, it's going to be the catalyst for driving those storms. So the longer it sticks around, the longer we'll have to deal with an unsettled pattern, which looks to be the case as we go through right through Thursday and Friday. Temperatures outside, the atmosphere is trying to get recharged, so we're in the low 90s. Dew points, though, makes it feel like it's 99. A lot of moisture in the atmosphere, a lot of instability. That boundary, although weak, is enough of that catalyst or enough of that lifting mechanism to cause some storms to develop. 88 at Sugar Land, 93 out at Katy. Now, as long as we have that instability around and that boundary in place, check out our rainfall chances going forward. Next 5 days, we're at 60% for tomorrow and Thursday. And notice they slowly drop as we head into the weekend, which is good news. Not a complete dry scenario, but chances of running into a shower or two are going to be a little bit lower from there. Our 7-day forecast does show some improvements. David, Paul, and I are going to be on the TV side coming up at 4, 5, 6, and 10 o'clock this evening. We hope to see you there.